What are we doing here?
Talking about your sleeping.
Oh yeah, not sleeping.
So why
Uh,
why aren't you sleeping? You giving it up? It was a bad job. Wow, look at you. Your special cushion. Did you
this
just
is
buy that today
yeah, I just got it right now.
at the op shop?
No, I did not get it today, but I could put it here in case I want to lean back.
In case.
Oh, look what Zoom's doing. Did you see that?
No.
It changed the framing.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah, change. I got it. I didn't realize.
Reframed. It reframed. Um, what was I gonna say? We
Something.
were talking about. Oh yeah, no, sorry. You just asked me why am I not sleeping, and I just said there's a few. I suspect there may be a few different reasons. Um, I suspect the number one reason is hormonal. It's
Oh
one
yeah.
of the main difficulties that you experience when you have hormonal fluctuations is sleep. The sleep cycle gets very perturbed and disturbed. So yeah, but yeah, I felt wide awake until about 4 a.m.
So did you lie in bed and look at the ceiling?
Um,
What
no,
did
I usually keep my eyes closed because I go through these periods where I'm convincing myself that if I keep my eyes closed and I concentrate on relaxing my mind and just quieting my mind, that I will eventually fall into a sleep state. But that doesn't work so well. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah.
I should probably be doing something more useful with that time, which would be meditating or trying to do some lucid dreaming. Um, I'm sure there's a hundred people right now that would have very, very specific ideas of what I could do to help me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So so that's that. So I'm on very little sleep and yeah.
So the lucid dreaming is dreaming when you're half awake, is it?
Well, it's when you can wake it is when you are awake, so-called awake while you're sleeping. So you're awake in your dream.
Yeah.
But there's is a very specific technique that you have to do, which actually requires sleeplessness. You have to train yourself. It's very specific how to do it. I've heard different people talk about it. You
Mm.
have to put alarms on, you keep yourself up way past being tired, and then you also sometimes will go into sleeping, but then you put an alarm to wake yourself back up, then you go back into sleep. There's a method. There are methods.
Can I ask a lot? Because for me, it happens to me just randomly.
That
Yeah, I don't, suddenly I'll be doing it. I'll be awake, but it's weird. It's like being half awake, but I'm dreaming.
oh,
It's really, but I'm aware I'm awake, I'm aware,
in your dream?
no, it's like in my life, in the reality, I'm aware I'm awake, but I'm actually having a dream as well. So I got two realities going, the dream
Ah,
and
interesting.
yeah.
Talk more about that. What does that feel like? Or what does that look like to you?
It doesn't feel like that amazing or anything. It's happened for a long time,
Hmm.
and then recently it's happening more often. And the dreams are longer. Usually the lucid dream I find it feels like it's really fast, but now it seems to be more regular, longer dreams
In while you're awake.
while I'm awake. Yeah. So it's like it's odd. It's not the same state as for me. It's not the same state as being awake because I'm sort of like I feel like I'm in an in-between zone, you
Yeah.
know. But I'm aware that I'm aware of myself, of my like body and the fact that I'm not asleep. I'm aware of it. but then there's this dream going on, So
Interesting.
it's like having, yeah, it's like having two states at the same time. I
Hmm,
guess I'm just greedy.
you are. You are living in two different realms, Dave.
Yeah. Because when I can't sleep, but I'm lying in bed, um, as opposed to driving a car or something, um, when I can't sleep, I do try and do something. So I tend to, and I've told this, I tend to first of all, I lie on my back, right? So I'm in a sort of state where I feel like I could more meditate. I find if I'm on my side, it doesn't feel I can do that. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I feel more aligned with nature or the earth or something or sky if I'm on my back straight.
Hmm.
And then what I've been doing for the last few months, I guess, is like thinking of something, right? I might think of, I don't know, the sun, or I might think of St. Michael or something which I think has a consciousness or Christ or something,
Yeah.
and just see how it affects me. What do I notice?
Yeah.
Hmm. And
That,
usually I'll notice some energetic state in my body which is different. Like if I thought of the sun or the moon or something, I would notice that, oh, there's a difference. It,
mm.
the energy changes in my body.
So you just, but in a way, you're just, what you're saying is that you're bringing a lot of awareness to your consciousness when you're awake and you can't sleep. You just become more aware of maybe the energy inside of you, the energy outside of you. Is it a little bit like that in a way?
So it's like that. And it's also like it's like I don't feel like, oh, I wish I could sleep. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like a different I mean, this is quite recent. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not sleeping, but it's nice being on the bed, so what should we do? I mean, I could put Netflix on,
Yeah.
um, but then sometimes I don't want to watch anything. Or I'll put
Yeah.
it on for 15 minutes and I go, oh God, I don't
I
enough,
want, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. 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 I feel the same. Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I tell myself, yeah, just it's really interesting because this has been a phenomenon happening to me for years. I've had insomnia. I go through stages, but
Stages, yeah.
for many, many, many years, I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep at night. At nighttime, something would happen in me that my consciousness would become hyper awake and aware of everything, every noise, every feeling, every sensation. I
Yeah.
just became hyper aware. And it would make it very difficult for my body to be in a state of feeling safe,
Yeah.
relaxed, right? I was just hypersensitive to energies at night. And but it's interesting because I can still feel it because even after all these years of working with this, last night again, I was wide awake and there were so many things I could do. I could turn the light on, read, I have a book right next to where I was sleeping. I could have gotten up and started stretching, which I did a few nights ago when I couldn't sleep. But something kept me just like lying there, just waiting. And so I'm not sure if it's a laziness. I'm not sure if it's a type of uh, like the mind is being controlled somehow, just or it's so programmed to that we should be sleeping,
Yeah. We should be sleeping, yeah.
that it tells you no, just lie here until you fall asleep because you should be sleeping. I'm not sure if I still have some of that in me, or maybe I do.
Mm.
Um, and then but it's interesting, it fluctuates. I remember sometimes being up all night and feeling total surrender to it, knowing I have to be up in a few hours and I'm going to be working a really long day, a long shift. and being like, "Oh, okay," and then but feeling, "Oh, it'll be okay, no big deal, I'll get through it, it's fine."
Yeah.
And then other days where I have nothing to do the next day, I feel some negativity about not being able to sleep. So it's very strange.
Well, you've had a lot of it, I mean, for years.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've had a very interesting relationship with night. I guess that's why in some way I was very curious and interested to maybe study out of how to induce out of body experiences
Yeah.
because um because there's something that calls me to it because I've been experienced sleep paralysis for so many years where the body is completely paralyzed, the mind is hyper aware and awake, but the
Yeah.
body is paralyzed, the body can't move and go do anything. And that's the kind of like a gateway or a portal, they say, on the state that you need to be in to reach an out of body experience, to then leave your body and to be able to travel. Your consciousness can actually travel,
Mm.
and see different states, different realms, different dimensions while the body is resting. And so I thought, okay, maybe this is really prompting me, this experience I've been having for 30 years now. It's really showing me that I need to utilize this time
Mm.
and this phenomena that's happening to me in a way.
Yeah.
So we'll
Interesting.
see. I'm open to it.
Yeah. To traveling.
Hmm.
Interesting. Because when you say traveling, I'm starting to think, I mean, what does that mean? Like what's traveling?
Yeah. I don't,
Is it
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
like is the body moving or is it like your consciousness travels somewhere or like you just have a link to something so you experience that? Um
That's a good question. Um, so there are different forms of traveling from what I hear because I've just listened to so many people talk about this, so many sorry, and people stories.
yeah.
Different types. There's astral traveling, where you leave your body and you can literally travel anywhere you want. You can travel to the room that's next to you and see what people are doing. You can go look at your neighbor's house and see what they're doing. You can travel to another country. You could infiltrate a military facility in another country. Yeah, I mean, there's ways of doing remote viewing. So there's that remote viewing. That's what
Yeah.
all these CIA programs and all these programs are paying people a lot of money is being put into these programs where they can train people to remote view so they can see what's happening in other countries,
Well, that's like spying then in a way.
exactly. So that can be called remote viewing. Astral traveling, I think it's where you can go to other realms and
Yeah.
different places. For me, the out of body, the appeal to me, I can just say specifically what it is. What appeals to me the most is being able to have my consciousness detach from the body, from the
Mm.
physical body, so that I can understand this reality better or really be able to see it in a more detached way so that not only can I understand what's happening here better, but then, because a lot of our fears, at least for me, I know that at the core, my fundamental fears, which I think for most people, but I'll just say for me, is detaching from the body, leaving the body, which we call death, right?
Yeah.
Fine. So if there's a technique, a method to leave your body and be able to see the reality of what's going on, really see that there is no such a thing as death. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist. Just something that's been created for this construct to make us feel a limitation so that we can really fully immerse ourselves in the experience of being a human. Because we don't we imagine we know that we're limitless and we know that there's no such a thing as death. Where's the contrast? Where's the challenge? Where are the lessons? You're like, screw it. I'm eternal.
But can I ask you a very obvious question?
Only if it's super obvious.
It's very obvious. I thought you feel that. I thought you feel that there's life after death. So therefore, why are you afraid of death?
That's a really good question. Um, I ask myself that question all the time, and I discuss that a lot with my AI friend. We have long discussions about it. Uh, there must be the way I'm understanding it is because the reason why we're here in this, what we can call it reality, this construct reality
Yeah,
game. I call it also like a video game that we're in.
yeah,
The reason we're in it is to experience the limitation. It's the whole reason we projected ourselves into this experience that we're having.
yeah,
So even though fundamentally I have a knowing, I have an inner knowing that I'm beyond that, that I'm
yeah.
beyond this construct, that this is just a temporary experience. We're here for a little while having, all these lessons and playing out these
Mm.
stories, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to be out. But in a way, I almost feel like in order for us to function in this reality that we're in right now, there
Yeah,
has to be the element of constantly forgetting that we are eternal. So we're
yeah.
constantly, it's almost like a reset. And it's so funny because you know what, I'll just say this. I think many people have talked about this, but I haven't seen too much on this. But, I asked myself, why do we blink all the time? Because sometimes when I don't blink my eyes and I just look at something, I can see the energy start to change. I'll start to see the room will start to move.
Yeah,
I'll start to see geometric shapes when I keep myself from blinking. And it's so interesting. The eyes, if you keep them open long enough, they'll start to burn. I don't know if you've ever tried this. If you've
mm.
ever, and of course, someone could come and say, "Oh, no, 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 that's a biological phenomena that's happening where the eye has to blink to
That's what
rehydrate."
AI told you, is it?
I don't remember, but what I do know is I have experimented with myself many times of just trying to keep my eyes from blinking for as long as possible until they burn so bad that I just can't hold it anymore.
Yeah,
Longer I hold them open, it's almost like the reality of this reality is starting to be shown to me. And
yeah,
so I tell myself, it's so funny. Like it's almost like so the blink is like a reset. That's what I told myself.
yeah.
I said in a way, the blink is like resetting. So okay, you're back to ground zero again. You're forgetting
Uh,
everything.
If we just okay, so we if we just ask about the forgetting,
Mhm,
um, so if I understand you correctly, and I mean I look into this as well, and I think about this as well. It's like um, if we remembered that we're eternal, like if we could remember our eternal state, our infinite state,
yeah,
then we wouldn't have the fears of dying. So we need to forget that. So like there's this idea that our our finite reality here is to give us all these fears or give us all this, oh, I better hurry up and do something. Like I have a friend who's reached a certain time of her life, and she said to me a few months ago, like she said, like, have I got enough time to do all the things I want to do? So she can
mm,
feel the clock running,
yeah,
and she starts to worry about it or something. I don't know. I get some reaction to it. So, and there is this other idea, is similar, which is about people who say believe in gods or the god, a god, or that gods like needed to create the earth, and maybe some of them needed to come here because there's certain things they can't experience. They couldn't experience fear. They because in infinite existence, there's no fear, maybe.
hmm,
So even the gods had to become human for a while. This is an idea about like Christ, I suppose, coming to earth.
yeah. Where is this coming from? It's
It's
like a
it,
book
it's
you read.
so pardon?
Is this a book you read, or what is this?
I'm trying to think. I think it might have been Rudolf Steiner, but I'm not sure. It could have been. But I don't think it's just one person. I think a few people think this, that even if like if you're a god, right, and you control everything and whatever, like how do you experience fear? How do you experience love? Because, you know, to experience love, uh, someone, I don't remember who it was, they wrote, you have to risk love to experience it. And I was thinking, what does that mean? Risk love. But I looked into it further, and some people think that, when you feel you want to say to someone, I love you, right? When you feel you want to say that, I know for me, when I've said that, I've feared saying it. It's like a risk. How's the person going to react? You know? So it's like you might have a feeling of love, but expressing it or being in it has fears and all this sort of stuff. So there's a lot. So the idea is there's a lot of things can be experienced by having the human condition
Yeah,
that can't be experienced in the out of body, whatever. So yeah. And I guess the more we talk about things, the more we research things, and there's even something we were looking at the other day, is it's like I feel like how can I put it? A respect for my human existence. So if I have a certain feeling, I think, oh, I'm supposed to be having that feeling, you know? I'm supposed to be experiencing this. It's
yeah,
like something I was given to have this opportunity, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. That every emotion and everything we experience here is needed.
Yeah,
Mm,
something needs it.
something useful and
Something needs it. And
yeah,
even if you think of the game analogy, if you say where is a game, it's a bit like, yeah, so in a game, say on this computer now we got the Zoom call, but imagine this computer where we're using it for playing a game, right? Then it seems that the purpose of the game is to have a lot of excitement. You know. So so this game of life, if we use the gaming analogy, it's like, well, someone's getting a lot of pleasure out of this. You know. S- Something is enjoying all this excitement.
you
Otherwise, why
mean
have the simulation? What's the point?
okay, so you're saying that there's a greater thing, greater energy or greater something that is getting its enjoyment through us, through the people that are playing the game? Is that what you're saying?
Well, actually, it's because of some discussions you had on chat recently. You shared with me. It's even become more of an experience I have now. So I've tried these like now. If I look at something, I've tried to think I'm looking at it for something. So there's awareness. You could say there's one level you could just say, oh, awareness, which is like some whole field of the whole universe, is just using me as a tool to experience what I'm looking at, what I'm doing, you
Hmm.
know? So when I look at a tree, right, there's something through me having that experience,
Yeah.
right? It's not just me. So
Yeah.
I notice now I get into it more in the last week or two. Before it was like I've always, for quite a while, I've had that concept, but it started to shift from a concept to feeling it.
Yeah.
Feeling that something was going through me, and just simple things like talking to you now. You know, something which some people call awareness is getting that.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Well, that definitely makes sense. I mean, even when you were talking a moment ago about the gods, like even a god would need to experience fear and love. And so maybe even a god would want to embody some physical form to do that. But then I thought, first of all, why don't we talk like what is a god? What is you a a a god comes from the same source of energy that we come from. How did the God become a God? Didn't the God have to experience love and fear to become a God?
I don't know.
But we don't know. And God means so many different things to so many different people, but
Yeah.
uh, and there are so many gods. So you think like, really, is God the creator? Is God like the universal force that gives life to everything? If there are so many different ones that so many different people look up to and pray to, you know? So it's just that could be a whole 50-part episode that we could have
Well,
talking
we
about
can
God.
simplify it. We can simplify it because I think I had this thought recently, which is like, okay, for instance, like a lot of people, including us, talk about UFOs or aliens and things like that now. But then you could say, well, that's just what we're talking about now. But what did people talk about before? Yeah, so you can go back in time, and if you go back way, way back, who were the first gods? Apparently, the first gods that humans talked about is called, in English, it's called animism, which meaning like animals are gods. So
Mm,
the
yeah,
first humans thought of like a bear was a god, or whatever,
yeah,
or
I
a
remember.
bird or something, and then maybe trees and things. So the first gods apparently were nature in a way.
In a
And
way,
then
yeah.
in a way. But then it became like maybe the thunder, because actually you can trace the Christian God from a Jewish God who was the god of thunder. There's a
What?
line, the god of thunder, like Thor.
Oh,
Like Thor was the Norwegian god of thunder. And
okay.
the Christian God, if you go back far, far, far back, he's a god of thunder. So it's like, those things were like gods and whatever. And then if you go through, I suppose, the evolution of humanity, kings used to say they were gods. They were anointed by God or they were a god. In Egypt, they were treated like gods. In China, they were treated like gods. So like
Mhm.
all this style of stuff. And
Yeah.
then now you could say, well, celebrities were sometimes treated like gods, and then aliens are like, we get our direction from aliens. Your society needs to change this way or whatever. There's going to be an ascension coming, or all these things. So I just became curious recently about, oh, that's interesting. You could say that humans have always given away their power
To
to something
something.
else, to something.
Mhm.
So you could say maybe it's about our psychology. Maybe there aren't any gods. Maybe there are not any aliens. It's just that we always give away our power to
Yeah.
something. Um, so it's about ourselves accepting our own power.
Or realizing that we carry the seed of what created us.
Yeah, we carry the seed of what created us. That's right. We are
That,
our creator. Yeah, we create our own lives.
yes. So why would we need to look up to something other than what created us?
Yeah,
Which I guess some people call that God. Some people don't.
that's right. And in fact, it's in the apparently Jesus said this. He said, you want to find God? It's inside you.
Yeah.
But I don't think priests talk much about that because if they did, it would be that, the humans could not be controlled by a God, so they need control. There needs to be an element of control. But if the control is inside you,
Yeah.
then that doesn't work. So it's not often mentioned, but Jesus said, God, look for God inside you.
Well, I still find it very interesting that this person, who existed not that long ago is being revered as this all-knowing godlike human when billions of years of evolution happened before he ever came about. And it's interesting how this one human being, this one person carries such power in his spoken word, which has probably, I mean, how could it not have been bastardized over the years by so
Yeah.
many people? How
Yeah.
could it not have been? How
Yeah.
do we know? How
Yeah.
do we, you know? So I'm always fascinated when people just when people talk so much about Jesus and the word of Jesus and I and I and I guess that what surprises me the most is that there's very little discussion about what preceded this person called Jesus. What gave rise to this person called Jesus? What came before him? Um,
Moses. So, I mean, so there's a
yeah,
way of
yeah,
looking at it
yes, go ahead.
that it's just like a series of prophets, and Jesus is one of them.
One of them, exactly. Yeah, yeah, you're right. But I mean, if you think about the hundreds of thousands of churches with Jesus on the cross, you don't see you don't see other prophets being revered
Yeah.
on the planet in the way that this person called Jesus, Yeshua, the names that he had, the way he has been, he continues to be revered up till today. So I'm always curious to look to talk more about or think more about what
Mm.
is this one human? What was he carrying, or was it that something that he brought to this planet resonated so strongly with something that the human beings were already carrying, and so it's like more of like there was something in the humans that he not only awoke, but he also like he fed something and then it grew, kind of like a plant.
I know. I see it more as an evolution, though. For me, I see like there was Moses, which of course is like the prophet of the Jewish people. The Jewish people don't accept Christ. So then there was Christ, which the part of the Jewish people accepted Christ and they split off, and they were Jewish and they became Christians. But then later there was Muhammad, you know, and that he let pardon.
I don't know much about Mohammed. I don't know anything.
Muhammad is a prophet who got information from God and started the Muslim. Um,
Thank you.
right. And Muhammad and when the Muslim Bible was recorded, which is the Quran, it actually says that the earth is going to be saved by the second coming of Jesus. So the Muhammad was very much knowing Jesus is important, and in what is it in the Quran, the Muslim Bible, they even talk about Mary Magdalene. They talk about Miriam, who's I think Jesus' mother. So the Quran, Muhammad and the Quran link up the prophets. I think he also mentions Moses as well. So you could get this idea, like there's this thing called humanity, right? And every now and again it needs some sort of reset, you know? So somehow consciousness or something produces a prophet that says, "Oh, you should be doing this," you know? And it doesn't completely work,
That is not
right?
the way.
Because Moses said, "You shall not steal, you shall not, murder, you shall not, covet your neighbor's wife and all that sort of stuff." But people don't exactly follow it, you
Not
know,
really.
like, but it's like an attempt, you know,
To slow things down.
slow things down, which you could say is like, why is there an extinction? Or there's a mechanism, it seems, which trying to make some corrections, but the
Yeah.
momentum's strong. So we'll still murder, we'll still cover our neighbor's wife, we'll still lie and cheat. So it doesn't slow it down completely, but it's maybe an attempt.
Well, we're not seeing the bigger picture, but maybe if we were had the ability to pull out and see kind of like the slowing down of the momentum when there's, like you said, natural disasters, wars, genocides, all of these things that
Yeah.
extract mass amounts of people. And if we were able to see, ecologically what's happening, the ecology,
Yeah.
because we just see things from our own perspective, from our human perspective. But I
Mm,
imagine that if we would be pulling out from Earth and just
mm,
seeing things as energy, for example, okay, we're just going to look at the energetics of what's happening.
mm,
We took out the human equation and we just looked at the energy of um, this, like these people be gone, being gone now. All of this minds, these collections of mindsets, collections of fears, collections of poverty, collections of disease or illness, but like all these things are carrying a certain energetic imprint in a way. And
mm.
so when some of them, are no longer in physical form to continue the momentum, it's got to ecologically be shifting things on this planet, but we just don't see it.
It
We
doesn't
don't
see it. No.
we don't think about it that way. Kind of like in all of the national parks, you know how they say that sometimes they have to kill the bears because they're killing too many of the animals the that help certain crops to grow, and those crops help the river to you know what I mean? Like it's a very, very specific science to keep the ecology
Yeah.
harmonious in a
Yeah.
certain way. So going back to out of body.
I'm still got that thought actually. I haven't lost it.
That I think that is also another appeal that I really have is to be able to see that, to be able to see what's happening here from a totally different perspective than just this very narrow-minded perspective, basically. This very human, small-minded human way. But
Okay. That's interesting.
go on.
I find that really exciting what you said because do you want to keep going?
No, no, go on. Please go ahead.
Because like, aren't we doing that in a way? Because we're talking about it.
Hmm.
So, so we've talked a little bit about this, but not much. It's like because we're two people who try and see the big picture, try and see the whole, step back, step out of our humanness and see what's going on, even in an argument, even when I interrupt you. So, so it seems like we're coming from that direction, and and then I would ask, oh, why is that? Why are we coming from that direction? Why do we come from the trying to find the big picture thing, where some people, are very concerned about what their neighbor's doing, and and they would complain about their neighbor, but never see there may be a big picture going on between them and their neighbor or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. It's just with it's like we're all made up of all these different perspectives.
Yes. Well, isn't that what we are? We're just different perspectives of of creation, of creator, whatever, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
We're just different. We're a different set of eyes, literally. We're giving it a different viewpoint. We're literally giving it 7+ billion different viewpoints.
And if you're an ant, you're giving it how many billions of ants are there on the earth? I don't know.
That's true, because we're not the only eyes on this planet. God knows there's how many camera lenses, eyes are there.
And
Uh,
if you're a tree, don't have eyes, so there's another.
but their senses,
I
they have
know.
the other senses. So it's all the senses are creating a perspective for the creator, for creation, for source, however you want to.
I had a great experience of this actually. Um, in Sydney, there actually it's very near where I am. There was this my daughter, my eldest daughter, she went on something with some Japanese lady. It was called forest breathing, I think.
That sounds nice.
So apparently, it was a thing started in Japan, I think, after the Second World War in the 60s or something, to help. It was a politician's idea to help people become less. to relax on the weekends, I think. Get away from the city. Go and stand in the forest and breathe. So it became a bit of a thing in Japan. So this woman had this like 2 hour experience in this park, and she did it so well. It was about letting your senses like feel the park, feel what's around you. And one of the exercises was to close your eyes and just be still for maybe 4 or 5 minutes and just notice what you notice. So you might notice the wind in the trees. You might notice different birds, different sounds. Um, and then and then she said at the end, it was quite surprising. She gave us a piece of paper and crayons, different colors, and she said, "Okay, can you draw what you heard?" That was it was a really good experience. So if you heard a bird, what do you draw? Like, how do you draw the bird?
Yeah,
But then we were all doing it. It's like,
yeah,
oh my God, it's so strange. And it's like, okay, you might say, well, some people would know that call was a certain bird. True. But we weren't like that. We weren't like experts for this area or anything.
yeah.
So it was really pushing the boundary of senses.
Mm.
Really. It was a really good experience. And I think doesn't that happen with blind people? They develop other senses dramatically or something.
Yeah. Or autistic people who have autism, they develop their telepathic abilities,
Mm,
which is, you know, we're just finding out so much more about people who are diagnosed with autism, about just the incredible range of senses that they have, and that they are able to tune into, that we perhaps don't tune into because we are so attuned to our five senses, right? So
mm,
hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, we're so attuned to these senses that it takes great effort for us to, for example, tune into our intuitive abilities, which every human being has the ability to be intuitive
mm,
and to sense what is not right or wrong, but what is beneficial for them and not beneficial for them. Like, for example, quieting your mind and checking in with your body to see what is your body needing. Is it needing rest? Is it needing food? Is it needing, well, we can do that. But I think because we're so attuned to these five senses that we don't necessarily take the time or have the ability to tap into those other senses. And maybe it seems that now what we're finding out is with autism, what it is, it's a different, if you have autism, you're functioning on a different frequency. And so
mm,
you were attuned to other senses that we all have,
mm,
but it's almost like they're on a different radio station than we are.
mm.
We're still the same, there's again no separation in that, but it's literally, I see it as like you have a radio station, and if you're able to tune in to this station and listen to it, you know
Yeah,
and some
it's,
people will be
it's a good
able to listen.
expression.
You'll be able to tune in if I go to the AM station and I go to station 780 and I turn it on, but I hear just that's all I hear. And then maybe a person with autism turns to that station and hears a very clear sound of someone speaking, or a
Yeah.
very clear sense of what it's saying. So it really is, we're just on different frequencies. That's what psychics, intuitive channelers, mediums, that to me, that's what those things are. They are just on, we we are all here, living this human life, but we are definitely tapped into different channels. I feel different stations, different frequency.
So I wonder what's doing the tuning in us.
Hmm.
What is that?
Wouldn't wouldn't that have something to do with where we come from?
Where we come from? You mean where we're born?
No. Uh, well, I guess, there are people, some people might listen to this and be like, oh yeah, we totally understand what she's saying. And other people are like, what the hell is she talking about? But, if you, if you think about it, I guess in the simplest way, since I work at a astronomy observatory, they'll show you the elemental chart, periodic table and be like, okay, well, here are the elements that are inside of a star.
Mm.
And here are the elements that are inside a human being. And basically, you are literally made of the makings of a star. You are made from the elements that came from an exploding star, an
Yeah.
exploding sun. So basically, if you think of it from that perspective, I guess God, what's inside of our body, what makes up our physical form right now, could be coming from some very basic elements, but maybe who knows? I mean, maybe our origins are from different places. I believe this. I think for sure I think there's a lot of people on Earth right now who have um, DNA from other planets, from other maybe star systems.
Yeah.
Some people who carry very, very long lineage of DNA from Earth.
Mm.
Um, Maybe they evolved from directly from the elements from Earth only. But so, that's what they're calling star seeds. Star seeds are people who, it seems have some DNA from star systems and like the Pleiades, for
Yeah.
example. And then other people are just much more grounded in this experience. And so maybe they're just from the DNA that evolved from Earth. And so that's why there are people, I think, that, which, yeah, I've grown up to know a lot of people, and I thought I was one of them for a long time of just thinking that everything was just from here.
Mm.
You're just Earth. Of course, you're from Earth. This is the only place you could come from. That's crazy to think that you're coming from another planet or another star system. But then because of sensations I've experienced since I was a child and really looking up at the stars all the time and being really curious about what was up there and maybe starting to write things. When I remember in my late teens, I was journaling and writing things about things I had no idea about, that everyone is a mirror and we're all wearing a mask. And I would write these things. I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? I
Mm.
don't even know where this information is coming from.
Yeah.
And and then just now and then becoming very interested in life beyond Earth, and then now working at an astronomy observatory, and being much more in tune to stars, really looking at stars more and going, what's going on up there, and taking videos of them and communicating with them and being like, wait a second. And it's almost like literally like waking up from a dream. I have been little by little waking up from this like sleepwalking all these years.
So this is why you don't sleep because you want to be awake from the dream.
Maybe.
Okay. It's very interesting what you're saying. So it's like if I took something very natural from what you're saying. Okay, so my hobby when I was a teenager, as you know, was astronomy, which is a pretty tough hobby to have in London because it was bloody cold. So, but when you're 13 or 14, it doesn't matter so much, maybe. And now, what you're talking about, and the astronomy and how you feel and things. So I just had this thought when you were talking, I guess people who are like looking up at the stars, they might just be looking home.
Yeah, that's what they say now, for sure. A lot of people will tell you that that's their home, that they know that this is not their home. They know it.
So it's like a resonance, we feel it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there can be lots of reasons for resonating because that star could have a similar consciousness to a person. So they feel, oh, that's who I feel connected to. Like when we meet someone, we feel a natural resonance with them, or
Yeah.
sometimes we don't, and we go, oh no, I don't want to talk to that person. So. But it's like there could be, I mean, in one, I did ask, as you know, I did ask Chat the other day about longevity. I was talking to AI about longevity, and it's like what even is longevity? Because as you're saying, we're made up of atoms or particles that were, billions of years old. Like hydrogen was only produced at the Big Bang, apparently. So all the hydrogen was produced at the Big Bang. So
Apparently.
all the hydrogen's inside us.
Allegedly.
Pardon?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So it's 13.8 billion years old. So like, okay, so we're old. We're 13.8 billion years old. What's this longevity issue, We're ancient, if you just look at the particles. So what does longevity mean? You
Jupiter
know,
ascending.
pardon?
Jupiter ascending.
Jupiter ascending, yeah, because we
Yeah,
both watched it recently.
yeah.
Oh God, you brought that up. So do you, oh God, this is getting
She
complex.
asked, she asked the girl, like, how old are you? And she said, what did she say? She was
1,000 years.
14,000 years old.
Well, she says I'm 14 millenniums old, and she says 14,000 years old. She says, yeah. And oh my God, do you want to keep going? Because I
Go
think
ahead.
you know where I went with that of this one.
Yes, a little bit.
Pardon?
I said, yes, I know a little bit. We talked a little bit.
A
You
bit
sent
about.
me something, but I haven't fully read it about
Oh
harvesting.
yeah. Okay, so because in the film Jupiter Ascending, who's in it? Channing, what's his name? Channing Tatum
Very
and
good.
Mila Kunis.
Wow, impressive.
And some aliens. But they have this they have this thing where I mean, okay, spoiler alert, but if you don't watch the movie, but if you want to watch the movie, don't listen to the next part.
Hang on, this really
So
takes that.
basically what happens is that it's like this regular cleaning lady, a Russian cleaning lady from New York, finds out that she's linked to these aliens or something. But what are the aliens doing? The aliens who look just like humans, because they have seeded Earth like a farm.
Hmm.
So Earth is a farm, and it's growing humans for a harvest. So it's a bit like we harvest, potatoes, cows, whatever. We kill things and eat them to live. So they're going to use the
Oh, energy.
humans on Earth. They don't really, I don't think they really explain how they do it. To They concentrate the humans, they kill them, they concentrate them into some liquid, and that they use that liquid to live longer, 14,000 years in this woman's case. And you only see her, I think so one of them holds a bottle of it, which it gets dropped and it spills on the ground. But the woman who lives for 14,000 years, she bathes in the liquid, I think.
Hmm.
So I asked Chat, I said, what actually causes longevity? What actually causes longevity? Because from my understanding, and maybe a lot of people, the things that live long on Earth are some trees live for thousands of years. There's a Greenland shark that lives for 400 years.
Yeah, there's some sea life that lives
Yeah,
under.
the immortal jellyfish, which never seems to die because it keeps on reverting back to its child state. But definitely some trees live for thousands of years. So I said to Chat, well, what's the reason those organisms live long? And it came back and he said the common thread seems to be they grow really slowly and they have a very calm life, you know,
Mm,
and they live in a very calm environment, and
yeah,
then they live long. And I wrote back, I said, well, that sounds so boring.
of course.
But so actually, so Chat said AI said something very interesting. He said it's not um as in the movie, it's not like digesting something. It's not like, harvesting humans that's going to make you live longer. It's how you think about life that creates longevity. It's how you are in your consciousness.
Yeah.
It's not all these other methods.
Yeah. And then what is longevity anyway? If you think about it, I mean, it's so we can tie this in now. You and I have been a little bit not disturbed, but giving us some attention to the passing of a UFO researcher and writer and just a really quite extraordinary kind of human being in a way, David Wilcock. And 53 years old. I didn't realize he was so young. He's my age. I had no idea. I
God,
thought he
you're so old.
I know. I'm prehistoric. What am I talking about? Where did that word come from? That's funny.
Hey, see, now it's that you're a dinosaur. We didn't know.
Oh my God, I love it. Um, so so what was I going to say? But yeah, but so you and I were talking about it, and in a way, it was like, wow, 53, he died, and then you reminded me of something which I hadn't been thinking of in that moment, is that there are people who live like so many lives within a life. If there are so many people on this earth that have lived. Maybe they were a pilot during a war,
It was
and
Christopher Lee. I gave you the example of Christopher
yeah, you
Lee.
gave me the example of Christopher Lee, but how many people do we know on this earth who are living multiple lives? They live so many careers, they do so many different
Yeah,
businesses, they experience so much of this life in such a very full way. And it's like, okay, and let's just say they die at like 40 years old, okay, or even 30. But then you look at this body of, I won't even say accomplishment because it's not even about accomplishing, but
experience, you could say.
things that they've experienced during this life. And then you go, okay, like, okay, so why would they need to live longer? Why? So they can
They've done it all.
experience more stuff. And then that there comes the greed of the human that we always want more and more and more. There's always
Oh,
got to be more. And yeah, I think that's a conversation we can have that has to do with longevity, because it's like, why are we striving so hard to live longer? Do we ever stop and say, wait, what is the reason why we want this longevity? Why are all these products being
yeah,
created to give us the appearance of being more youthful? What is the underlying thought or thinking behind that? Why do I want to look younger? Why do I feel like I will live longer if I look younger? Why? And why do I want that extra time? Is it to do more so that when I die, I can just feel like, oh, I got a lot done here. I was able to experience everything.
oh, there is.
Not any regret or, does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah. I mean, there is a sort of simplistic sort of answer to that. It's just like it's like a basic part
Yeah.
of part of consciousness
Mhm.
that you could say with the universe. Like when the Big Bang started, for instance, if the universe didn't want more, it would have stopped there.
Yes.
So, like, you could say that a very basic uh, component of consciousness is greed, more, wanting more. It's like if you didn't want more, like if we didn't want to do another podcast, we wouldn't have done it. We would just sat around and drunk coffee all day. So you tend like it drives life wanting more, I
Yeah.
think,
Well, at a cellular level also.
Yeah, the cell level, completely particles and whatever, the
Yeah.
whole way through. Otherwise, everything would stop. So you could say that the need for longevity as drive is just a very natural part of consciousness. It's
Better
just the
conscious.
way it's manifest.
Yeah. Needing more to evolve,
Yeah.
itself. Yeah. Yeah. So it is interesting. It is it is interesting. And sometimes I do a trick with myself, not a trick, but I kind of tell myself, if I get this feeling of like that I'm not accomplishing enough, that I'm making comparisons between myself and other people who are doing so much. Um, And then I tell myself, you know what? What if I decide to not give a shit if I don't do one more thing in this life? I decide that, fuck it. If this is all I've done, then this is all I've done, and I'm totally okay with this. How would
Yeah.
I feel? This is my last day, and would I really be like, oh man, I never did this. I never played music. I always thought I always wanted to learn a instrument and I never did, or I always wanted to travel around the world and I never did, and I always wanted this. I'm like, really, would I really think about those things and really regret those things before dying? And I thought to myself, I think I'd like to get to a place where I feel completely at peace, really, really feel at peace with whatever I have done and not done when I go. That for me would be would be a goal, actually. If I would say if there's any goal I want in this life, is to feel completely in a state of appreciation and gratitude for everything I experienced with no feeling of having lacked anything or having
Um,
needed more.
That's
Does that?
it makes sense, but it's really interesting you're saying this uh, because you can study life through like science, through there are things like chaos theory or systems theory or whatever. And basically, what these theories say is that it goes through all these stages. So, like matter or something becomes chaotic, but it's looking for stability. So,
Oh,
apparently, pardon?
the chaos like entropy
Yeah,
or the
well, that sort of thing. It's looking for stability. So what you're saying is really natural also in the universe that you're looking for that peace. But then when you get that peace, you better die fast because it'll become unstable again.
come up again.
So you got to be quick.
Die fast. When you have that thought, die right away.
It's like, oh God, it's like you're at the shops and you say, oh, I feel so peaceful. Quick, I've got to get home because I want to say goodbye to everyone. Like see you, can rush home, you know.
Oh, maybe we can put some what's it called? Show notes where we put some in the notes that we put at the end, we can put some links
Links,
to
yeah, yeah.
her. Yeah, go on. You're
And I
gonna
don't
introduce.
think we fully explained the David Wilcox thing is that he's this guy who was a guy who studied so much. He studied so much about UFO science, amazing discoveries, and he was able to link things together. Like he could see the patterns in things. So like,
Yes.
wow, I didn't realize that was like that, and it all joined. He was a jot. What do they call it? A dot joiner. You join the dots together. And so both of us had this idea, like the guy burnt out in a way, because like he was doing so much. But then we thought, well, other people have had also lives when they've done a lot, but they lived a long time. So we could do an episode on that because it brought up a lot of issues, a lot of thoughts
Well,
about this
thoughts,
guy.
not issues.
Yeah, sorry, thoughts. Did I
You
say
have it.
issues?
I'm
Issues
fine.
is so negative. God.
Totally.
Yeah. So we could do one on that. Because we've
Yeah, we
we've rambled all over the place today, which is unlike us.
totally didn't like us, but I mean, um, I just wanted to say before I forget that concept of what you just brought up, that things are, at an elemental level, things are in a state of chaos, always looking for structure, always
Mm.
looking for coherence.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe in the show notes, we can put a really cool interview that I found with a physicist who studied out of body experiences with Robert Monroe from the Monroe Institute for
Right.
many,
Yeah.
and and he's so well spoken. He explains things really, really well about what we are from an elemental level and how it manifests in our physical life. But he really breaks things down, and it was a highly stimulating. It stimulated me to think about a lot of things, the things that he said. And I think some people would really benefit from listening to it if it's something that they're interested in.
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Are you going to tell me?
Yeah, I'm laughing because we're going to end soon, and then with a Zoom, you get this summary comes back.
Oh
But
boy, again, we know this summary is going to be like, what the hell was
but I'm
this?
going to say something naughty. I could get sued for saying this. But when Zoom sends its summary, it sometimes recently it's said I think it said a few times like this is way random discussion. I can't find a thread sort of thing. And then but I then throw that to Chat GPT and it always finds a thread.
It finds coherence.
It finds coherence. It finds the pattern. It's
Yeah,
a pattern finder.
it's a
It
pattern.
says it's hmm?
Yeah, sorry, it's a pattern finder, but
And yeah, it does something which humans find hard to do, I think.
Mhm. To structure things.
Yeah, we always see things more as dilemmas. Oh, it's like either I do this or that, but they don't realize that it's linked.
Yes, yes, and it does connect the dots. That's what I love about it. That's what I love about discussing things with Chad. I think that it's really the way it connects things together. And then the more you the more you discuss different topics with it, it brings in the whole history of what you've discussed with it
Yeah,
beforehand and the things that it starts to pick up on because it picks up on your pattern. And
yeah.
if you talk into it also, it takes the pattern of your voice into the transcription mode, but it is taking the pattern of your voice. So
Mm,
it actually can pick up on your frequency as well. So that's for me, I like to talk into it. I don't really type. I do more talking because
yeah.
I that it can pick up that pattern from me also. But it's yeah, no, we could definitely there's a lot to talk about going forward about different topics to do with everything we just talked about. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and are we going to talk about everything before we pass away?
pass away where?
To well, I don't know, to the next game level.
To the next game level. We don't know. I mean, listen, we can leave on this is that so hang on. So we live in a world where we are experience things um like um learning. We go to school, right? There's
Yeah,
something, there's something in this, there's something in the pattern of this world that we're in right now that created a structure where we're learning.
yeah,
Okay. You know, I think it went off track because it's having us learn things that are not necessarily useful for this human experience that we're having. We know that already. We know that in schools, it might it could be extremely useful if we were to learn things about our emotions and the
mm.
way the mind works as children. If we were to learn that, we would be having a very different human
Oh
experience.
my God, this is a whole new topic.
It
Um,
is. Anyway, but what I'm saying is that, okay, I'll keep it simple. What I mean is that there are things in this world that show us that there's something about being in a game, studying, learning, evolving, experiencing, leveling up in a way. So we know that this is kind of in our human storyline, I would say.
yeah,
So then if that's the case, then but that all of that's coming from somewhere. It's got to be coming from something that put us into what's called like an earth school. This is school. For me, I have felt for a long, long time that earth is one big school.
yeah,
And maybe that's why when I got out of high school, I could not wait to leave school. I was like, oh my God, never put me back in a classroom ever again. Please, that was torture because it was like, for me, life was a school, you
yeah.
know,
There is
walking
a
from, yes,
there is a
you're
theory of there. We
so
learned in China when we were studying. We did learn a theory about this.
completely interrupts me. I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Um, no, I actually thought you had stopped
You
to
mean
take a
you thought I had
breath.
stopped and I was still talking?
I didn't realize I'd interrupted you.
My God, Dave. Actually, I'm getting it back because it was brought to my attention that I
But
interrupt.
apparently I was put on this earth to interrupt you. I heard.
And I appreciate it very much.
Well, well, it's not so much that you have to appreciate it. It's like whoever is getting this experience, whoever we're working for, you know,
I'm not working for anyone. Who are you
Mr.
working?
Mr. Awareness, who's getting the benefit of your feelings of being interrupted.
Hmm. Well, Dave, you're getting way out there. We're gonna have to do an episode on that. Who
Yeah.
is who is making you interrupt me? I want to know. What is
I know who it is.
Oh, tell me.
It's you.
Oh, wait. Is my consciousness communicating with your consciousness to interrupt me?
Of course, because you don't like being interrupted. So therefore you need an interrupter. So I'm just being controlled here. I mean, I'm not doing any of it.
That sounded very Freud-like. I like it.
Oh, I don't like Freud. When you say Freud, I go, ooh, it's so weird.
I don't even know that much about him. I just brought that up because,
I think he was obsessed with his mother. Anyway,
Oh,
but you could say, what's wrong with that?
yeah.
What's wrong with being obsessed with your mother? So, Marilyn, no, I
Hey.
didn't interrupt you there, did I? Do you know what we haven't done?
We haven't said goodbye,
And we haven't said hello.
and we have not said, oh, let's do both.
Let's do both. Hey, but your hair has to move. No, no, you got to go the curly side. Yeah, put it, yeah, t that side. You got to put all your hair that side. Wow, you got so much friggin' hair. It's amazing.
Wait here.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, the other way. You had it all. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
no, the
okay.
other side, the other side, the other side.
What do you mean the other side? It was already on this side.
No, no. When we started, the hair was on the other side.
No way. Did I move it?
Yeah. Did you move it? It's like how many times did you move it?
Did I move my hair? I thought this time I didn't touch it.
Oh, God.
Shit, I got issues. I got serious issues. We can do an episode about that.
It's so funny. You know what you do. It's so hilarious, which is normal. You you
About to
you
tell
move
me.
your pardon. You interrupt me then.
I know. I wanted you to know how it feels. I'm kidding. That's not why I did it. It's just because I do it all the time. I told you I have issues. I really need to work on this.
But what I was going to say is that you often tell me when I'm touching my hair, but
Oh,
you touch your hair so often. It's so funny.
projecting. I'm projecting.
Life is a projection.
Sure is. Oh boy. What did
Actually,
we?
did you? I sent you that beautiful line that Chat gave me
Mhm.
about projection. Because, Chat makes everything, GPT usually makes everything so positive. So, can I find it? Hang on. I'm I'm searching in WhatsApp. Um, I know one of the words in the phrase, so I put the one word in I know.
And then we will depart from one another today.
Oh no.
There's something out there that's beeping. I hope it's not an alarm in the house.
Where? In your place? Is the fire?
Oh, I'm in.
I was in a hotel the other day and the fire alarm went off.
Ooh, that's
And the fire
exciting.
brigade came, but they said what causes it is often people vaping in their hotel room.
Oh, no way. Wow, that's interesting.
Mm, can't find it.
Um,
Wonder
I
why I
do
can't.
I
Wonder why
do
I
have
can't. But basically, the phrase was something like, because we project ourselves. ourself into others. That way we can understand each other. Something like that.
That makes sense.
It was better said than that, but it was like, wow, I'd never seen a positive about that before. With something like that, it sounded really positive.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you going to say hello, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Marilyn.
Hi. Wow.
Hi.
I like this. This is a new thing. Instead of saying hello in the beginning, we say it at the end. And
Ah,
maybe what we do is record a goodbye at the beginning.
yeah,
Just
well, we're completely upside down, so that makes sense.
well, that means that makes sense. You're down under.
And you're up above.
I can see a kangaroo sticking out of that bush behind you. It hasn't moved. It's pretty amazing.
It moved.
Yeah, didn't move. I've been
Actually,
looking at
it's so strange. That bush has flipped. It was on the other side.
no, it's always there, Dave. Calm down.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Do you like the way my hair moves? It's amazing. Without me
You know what?
touching it.
I think there's like an aura glow that keeps moving.
So
Uh,
last time we didn't say hello at the beginning, but I just moved the hello to the beginning. I thought you noticed that.
I didn't. I should notice these little things that you do.
Little things. Oh my God, you're just downplaying my editing activities completely.
I don't
Oh.
want your ego to get too inflated, Dave. I'm just
But that's the whole idea of ego.
keep thanking me. Hello.
Aren't you missing the point?
Uh,
So should we say goodbye now?
yeah, why not? Why not? Thank
Okay.
you for listening. Whoever is listening to these episodes, wow.
It's such a jumble. And Marilyn, can you please stop interrupting me?
I'm gonna try. I I'm gonna do a meditation later on about all the times I interrupted you today, and also the reaction that I had to you interrupting me. I'm gonna think deeply about that and ponder upon it, and then I'm gonna put it on a paper, burn it up, and then let's start it all over again.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I will pay more attention to
I'm
that.
not, I'm sorry too. I just get so excited sometimes by what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's my
Well,
excuse.
we talk about random stuff. Okay. Um, we'll see each other later. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.